Hey everyone! So today I just wanted to talk about my top 5 binge-worthy, otherworldly television series. 3 of them are currently running, and 2 of them are kind of older. There aren't going to be any new episodes of them, but they're definitely worth watching, and they're definitely worth being on this list. So in terms of otherworldly series, I'm talking about TV shows that are fantasy, a little bit of drama, action, intrigue, romance, and have supernatural, ethereal elements to them. Tabby just came out. So number 1 on my list is Outlander. It's about a World War II nurse who travels back to the 18th century. And there's a lot of romance and intrigue and action and adventure, and it's just such a great show. There are a few traumatic moments that coincide with the beautiful moments. I tend to remember the more beautiful moments rather than the really intense scenes, so beware of that. Some of it is so traumatic that I just tend to forget about it. One of the things that makes Outlander so likable, and the thing that people love about it the most, are the characters. You know, Claire is such a admirable character. You know, she's very intelligent, she's very resourceful. Jamie is also just a very strong, resourceful, like their partnership is just such an interesting one, and it's one that is admirable, and I think one that is quite aspirational, if anything, because it's like they put true love in ahead of everything else, and they do what they can to stay together and to save each other when they're in trouble and to help each other and support each other. And that's, I think there's that level of a teachable aspect in it, and you know what partnerships should look like and what they should be like, and they should be loving and supporting, of course. If you think you'd also like a show that is about love and hope, and how love and hope and courage can conquer all and any obstacles that come your way, then Outlander might be a good show for you for that reason as well. Not to forget, the music in Outlander is also really good. They have great musical scores that just sets the tone. They do such a good job with that show all around. It feels real, like you can sort of feel what the characters are feeling with between the music and the atmosphere that they create. So it's just really worth watching. Number 2 on this list is American Gods. If you haven't seen American Gods, or if you haven't read the book, you should look into it. It's a really interesting story where goddesses and gods take human form and they are living among humans. Will really make you think about things that you might not already be thinking about. And it explores these ethereal ideas, and in such a way that is just, it's beautifully done, it's shot beautifully, it's just a great show. They did a good job with it. Still waiting on season 3, but I'm sure season 3 is going to be interesting to watch as well. Number 3 on this list is The Witcher. I know some people hate it, some people love it, but I say that, you know, I know the first episode can seem a bit corny, like the first couple moments. The special effects are not that realistic in the first few moments of it, but if you just give it a chance, watch it until the 2nd episode and see if you like it. I think it's worth watching. It's a really interesting story. There's a lot of action, and the choreography of action is really good, and the acting is, I think the acting is, you know, pretty good as well. I know some people don't like his wig. I love the wig. I like the wig and the costumes and the song. I mean, they created a song that is just so catchy that it's just dun 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 do 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 do. Like that ditty, toss a coin to your Witcher, is so catchy. Even Baby Yoda likes The Witcher. And you can look that one up on YouTube. There's a video where Baby Yoda's jamming out to that song from The Witcher. Alright, so number 4 on my list is True Blood. It's It was really popular when it first came out, and if you haven't seen it, you know, give it a try. It focuses a bit more on vampires, but as you go through the series, this might be a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but as you go through the series, you find that there are many other supernatural beings in this show, and it just makes things interesting, you know. And the one thing I really liked about True Blood was that it sort of provided an interesting take on how humans would react and how there would be tension between the different types of species. So I just thought that that show gives a really interesting look at speciesism, and you know, you could use speciesism in these supernatural shows as a metaphor for racism and how humans mistreat each other, and how we need to learn to love each other instead rather than othering each other because we're a little different or whatever. So that's what I like about these supernatural shows. And last but not least is Bewitched. It's a classic TV show. It's a comedy. I recently rewatched the whole series on the Roku channel. In the original TV show Bewitched, it starts out with the Samantha character taking on the role of a typical housewife and putting away her powers and what makes her who she is to make the marriage work. But throughout the whole series, Endora, her mother, is just a total badass. I don't know why she isn't seen as more of a, you know, an icon, I suppose, because she's really cool on the show and really funny. And the fun thing about Bewitched is that even from the start to the end, I grew up watching it, but I forgot how funny the show is throughout the whole entire thing. There are some moments that will really crack you up, especially in like season 3, and yeah, and then with the neighbor character, Mrs. Kravitz, she's hilarious too. The show is just so funny. There are so many good episodes. I think season 2 and 3 and season 8 are probably my favorite seasons, but yeah, it's all good throughout the whole entire thing. So I can't recommend Bewitched enough either. It does a great job of reflecting a lot of societal issues and tensions and events that were going on in the United States during the 60s and 70s. There were major shifts going on, and then you can see those shifts in that main character, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. So it's interesting how whenever they went back in time in Bewitched, and then also like in Outlander, you know, they show all of these, you know, how hateful these people were. You know, they're so hateful and just irrational and crazy, and they went to extreme lengths to prove a point and to set examples that did not need to be set. And if you look back at those times, then you look back at now and you see it's taken a long time for us to get to where we are now, and we still have a lot more to go, as we can see with what's happening. And hopefully in the future, people will look back on this and we'll be more peaceful people, and we'll be more loving the way that we should be in any way, and not so judgmental and harsh on one another, but you know. But anyway, I feel like that's what those TV shows leave us with. Those are the messages that it leaves us with. They kind of force us to look at ourselves and to look at our prejudices and to look at, you know, how we're treating other people. And I think that's the beauty of these supernatural, otherworldly television shows, is that they can provide this very different perspective while also keeping it real, I guess you could say. And provides a perspective that goes against the traditional conditioning or status quo, a perspective that hopefully inspires us to see that regardless of sameness or difference, we are all here together. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some shows to watch. If you're looking to gain a new perspective or see something that's going to make you think, I feel like these shows will make you think and make you wonder, make us reconsider the ways in which we treat each other and ways in which we treat those who we see as other or different. So I hope you like them as much as I do, and leave any feedback in the comments. Do you agree with this list? Do you have any other suggestions? These were my top 5. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. True Blood, Outlander, Time Travel. Then there's American Gods, Cue the Thunder, The Witcher, Bewitched. So yeah, if you're looking for a new show to watch, especially during this Halloween time where we're going into October, check out these 5 television shows. They might surprise you.